It is a derby weekend, and one of the derbies has just ended 2-2 draw. Arsenal versus Chelsea just ended 2-2 draw. And I think most of the Chelsea fans will be very disappointed in what just happened. And me not being a Chelsea fan, who I have sympathy for Chelsea and all that, I just felt really bad for this result that Chelsea has gotten because they were so fantastic in the first half. And I was thinking that Chelsea could have just ended the game with the 3 points or something like that because just coming from 3 straight wins, the previous games, I think they had the momentum and they have just gotten their rhythm and they were just going to end this game properly. So I have my colleague Pandit here and let's hear what he has to say about the Chelsea game. My man.
Yeah.
What you got to say about this game?
Yeah, indeed, it was a derby full of surprises. Yeah. Coming into this very game, yes, we were coming as an underdogs.
Underdogs, yeah.
Most of us were just in for Arsenal. Yeah. I told you earlier on that Chelsea, looking at the kind of coach they are having, the manager and the tactics employed in previous match, I knew he was going to mesmerize this Arsenal team. And yes, indeed, he did it well. And it's unfortunate they gave any 2-2. So
of course, they did it well. And it's quite surprising. The first half, Chelsea knew, coming into this game, let's be honest, Chelsea knew very well that they wouldn't be able to compete with Arsenal. They knew it from the onset when it comes to dominating possession and the 50-50 balls. They know very well that they could not do it with Arsenal, so they have to get a plan. And they quite got a plan, and it was working so fantastic. If you check the defensive setup of Chelsea during the first half, I think they were doing so well. Yes. Like, they were not allowing passes to penetrate through the defense and all that. And Marco Correa, I think this guy, he had one of the best games. The first half, I think that was his best game in the Chelsea shirt or something like that. I think he really deserves credit for that, though they didn't win the game. But I think he really did very well by stopping Saka on the one-on-one situations. I think he did really very well because so many times we saw them on a one-on-one situation, and I think he was able to manhandle him easily. And I think we have to applaud him for that. Though they didn't win the game, but I think he really deserves good credit for that.
Oh yes, I think Cucurella has played one of his best games, as we said earlier on. Looking at how he positioned himself, marking Saka and taking him out of the first half, he did well. And don't let us also forget about Mudryk. Mudryk also did well. And Palmer, I think Chelsea team, they played as an organized team today.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't also forget about Arteta. The second half, coming into the game in the later part of the match, and also how he introduced
certain players,
Trossard and a whole lot of stuffs.
And they changed the game.
Sure.
I think when we were doing the preview, I told you something about when it comes to these two questions that it's more or less like Mikel Arteta is more of a top-notch coach ahead of Mauricio Pochettino. So when you used to look at the first half, everything just went perfectly for Chelsea. Though they didn't dominate the possession, but their plan, they stuck to a plan, and it worked perfectly. But coming into the second half, this guy realized that, okay, something is not right, so I got to do certain changes. And he did changes, and I think changes help. So this is why I was saying I think he's more of a top-notch coach than Mauricio Pochettino. I'm sorry to say, and it sounds controversial, but I think the changes really help us now. And unfortunately, Chelsea changes did not help them out. It's so sad. It's so embarrassing. If it was that Arsenal scored 2, or it was just even Chelsea scored 2 first half and Arsenal equalized 1, and second half they equalized 1, good. But 60-something minutes they started equalizing, and end of the game 2-2 is quite embarrassing, you know, because Chelsea is one of the teams we know in Europe that they don't mostly concede goals, though it's different era, different coaches and different system of play. But I think we wouldn't have been expecting goals, 2 goals within some 30 minutes or something. So I think they have to work on their defensive issues. I think they have some issues going on there.
Yeah, I think what I see in the later part of the game was that Arteta realized that the Chelsea defensive, there was a full of porous in the system. Yeah. So what he did was just bringing him Trossard. Trossard, all we know, is a torture. When he get the ball, he would love to dribble past through the goalpost, and there was a numerous of space. So he capitalized on the space, and everything was just.
Yeah. So kudos. Even though as we are speaking this way, but I think Chelsea still deserve credit for getting a draw because we all predicted this game. I predicted 3-1 in favor of Arsenal. You predicted 2-1, 2-0, something like that in favor of Arsenal. So I think Chelsea deserves
Chelsea have done
credit for that. So kudos to Chelsea. I think next time they can do a really good job. They are, I mean, they are getting their form back. I think it's a good sign. It's a good look for Chelsea. But I just think they could have done better. They could have leading 2 goals. I think they could have done better. So I think it's for Chelsea.
Yes, and then the game was very enjoyable because it's a derby, and as I said earlier, we both enjoyed.
Yeah, we all enjoyed this game. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Make sure if you like this type of content, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Just like that, we out and peace.